Firstly, what is the McGill Method? Most people misunderstand it and call it the big three, which is just a tool that sits upon a shelf here, and as a therapist, practitioner, whatever you want to call it, trainer, we would choose that tool if it was so required. So the McGill Method it's a process of assessment, and it's also a way of thinking about a problem and how to solve a problem as well. So when it comes to the low back, what we're trying to understand is essentially what's triggering the pain, or enhancing it, or aggravating it, and what's relieving the pain or reducing it. They're essentially the two things that are being looked for. So the movements, the postures, the positions, and the loads that are doing either of those two things, making it more painful or less painful. So that's sort of like the first part. What's also happening is we're trying to understand where the pain is coming from. Now, if you look at the book behind me here, that's got a selection of physical assessments, or a part of the book is going through the physical assessments. A big part of it is the anatomy that leads into why we do those ones, and how we go about interpreting the tests as well. So we look at the spine, and we look at different structures of the spine. Is it the disc? Is it the facet joint? Is it instability? So we look at those different things and try and identify which one it is, because if it's one of them, it requires a certain path of rehabilitation. If it's another one, it requires a certain path, and if it's a combination of them, it requires a certain path. So we have to come to that understanding first. There is also a consultation and question answering process to it as well. So it starts off with the question answering process, or the questions and the consultation. So we gain information. That's essentially what we're doing. Through those questions and answers, we're gaining information. Then through the physical assessments, we gain information. What we're able to do is cross-reference them and find a pattern. Once we start finding that pattern, that then develops our working hypothesis. So when we do the question and answers in the consultation, you start to get an idea of, I think this is happening in the spine. You don't necessarily say that straight away, but you start getting an idea, okay, this is a pattern, this is starting to happen, I think it's coming from here. We then do the physical assessment. That then helps again cross-reference with the consultation. Okay, this is backing up what I thought originally. Or, okay, this isn't backing up what I thought originally. Maybe it's this other option that I thought. So you may have three options to start with. You go into the physical assessment. Okay, it's looking like it's more A than B, or it's more A and B than it is C. So I'm going to get rid of C and I'm going to focus on A and B. So it's a way of thinking, but it's the process. So the questions and answers, the assessments that help you think that way. And what that does is that builds that is essentially a working hypothesis, which is how he starts the book. So he talks about a working hypothesis and how to think about rehabilitation, because what it's not is, I've got low back pain, which is an umbrella term anyway, therefore my core is weak, I need to strengthen it. That is as far as some people go with regards to low back pain rehabilitation, whereas that's not really how it works, because like I said, the McGill Big Three, which is 3 exercises. So what a lot of people do is go, oh, McGill says do the big 3, so do these 3 exercises and that will reduce your pain. That's not the case. That can happen for a particular type of back pain. So if you went through the consultation and assessment and it came out that there was instability in the spine, then the McGill Big Three is a useful tool to use. We would pull that in and we would assess using it, because the assessment never stops. You don't just do the big three and then it's done. It's like, oh, I'm doing the big three, now it's done. It's like, no. Start doing the big three, continue assessing. How does that feel? When do you feel it? Is there anything still there? Has it reduced? Has it increased? When does it reduce? When does it increase? All those different types of things. So that's what we're trying to build. And that's how the working hypothesis works. You never stop that thinking process. So you're always continually assessing. If you want to do anything like this, click the link below, go through to my How to Overcome Lower Back Pain workshops. It's the prerequisite to the group coaching. So it talks a little bit more in depth what I'm talking about now, but also we give you some practicals because it is a standalone course as well. It's not just the prerequisite. So it does give you a basis to actually start this work. But what it's there to do is give you a better understanding of the process, of how to think, of how to, or what to look for within your lower back. And then if you so choose, you can go through to the group coaching, which is where we actually focus on you and let's start solving your lower back pain specific to you, not just in a generic fashion. But you can start that process with those workshops. So click the link below, you can go through and you can download those, and you can get started on your journey. And then if you so wish, you can join me for the group coaching. But to summarize what we've talked about so far, what is the McGill Method? It's not the big three, that's a tool. The McGill Method is an assessment process where we build a working hypothesis, where we're able to look at the postures, the positions, the movements and the loads that are aggravating pain and also reducing pain. So what we can then do is start choosing the tools to be able to sort that out. But the assessment process doesn't stop even when we're into rehabilitation.